Hello, my name is Andreas Hirt, Hirt, and I've been doing a lot of research in the last 10 years on the European folk music scale, among other things. And I think I've come to the solution of what it is and where it came from. And I think the solution is that it's actually a pastoral scale and not a folk music scale. And the music came from the instruments that shepherds used. I'm going to demonstrate this in a second so that you can hear what it sounds like. What shepherds used to do was they'd go out and they'd cut down a branch of a tree, they'd hollow it out, put it back together, and secure it with birch bark or osier rings. They'd tap it down, and then they blow on it. When they blow on it, they get one wave, two waves, three waves, four waves, all the way up to 16 or 24 waves within the length of the tube, which produces a certain series of notes. Now, I'd like to demonstrate this. I've got a little trombone here, and I'm going to play this for you. And it's a little odd because I've got a trumpet mouthpiece in it, so there's a lot of turbulence here, and the bell itself is not the right shape. It should be much smaller, and that affects the harmonic series. They call this series of notes a harmonic series. So I'm going to play the notes that this instrument can produce. Now, it doesn't look like a shepherd's instrument, but it actually is very similar because it's just a tube. There's just a tube, and you just have a series of notes that you can play on the mouthpiece. So whether it's made out of wood or brass, it doesn't really make any difference to the sound. So I'm gonna play this for you, and these are the series of pitches that you have to work with, that they had to work with when they were creating a tune. So that's the harmonic series, also called the natural scale, and you have a certain series of notes. And all folk tunes, all the really old ones, can be played on this instrument. So they called it gap because it sounded very low at the lower end. It's kind of hard to play the lowest pitch with this thing, but you can hear that it's gapped at the bottom, and it gets closer as you get higher. So the folk music scale has been thought to be gapped or pentatonic or hexatonic, but it's not, because as soon as you get higher, there are more notes in the upper octave, so it's not octave equivalent. So what I'm going to do for you is I'm going to play a folk song, just one of them, called Monindan Voyach. Horo Monindan Voyach, Iri Monindan Voyach. And I'm going to do it the way that they do here in Cape Breton, it's the same notes as they have in Scotland. It just has a slight variation. So here it goes. So you can clearly hear that I could play the entire tune on this just by using my mouth. And it's not a coincidence, I don't believe. It's just, there are too many tunes that can be played on this thing, or a wooden shepherd's instrument. You can play a lot of them very low. It's difficult for me to do this with this kind of a mouthpiece, but for instance, fairly low. Bum, bum, bum. So you can play all these notes and all these tunes on an instrument like this. So it's kind of interesting, and you can recreate a lot of old songs. You can, if you have a Celtic band, you can infuse it with an instrument like this, just a wooden instrument. Um, there are just so many different things that you can do. You can play melodically on it. You can do harmonies with it, which is what they used to do. They used to have the very short little trumpets as well as the long ones that the senior shepherds used to have. You can go to a Ren fair and impress all your friends by playing folk tunes. Now I put online as well how you can take a tune that's in notation, and I showed you online how you can take the tune, how you can adjust it so that you can see the natural scale in it, and then play it on an instrument like that. So if you want to do that, just type in my name, Hirt, and folk scale or European folk scale, or I did a book called the Celtic Lyre, and I set all the tunes to the natural scale as well. So there are a lot of things that you can do if you want to, but I thought I'd just put that out there for you. So I hope you've enjoyed, and if not, well, have a good day anyway. Bye bye.